So, what made you decide to come out here today and protest outside the NRA annual meeting?
Well, I felt that it was very distasteful of them to come to Houston so soon after such a tragic event happened. Like 19 kids dead. Like, how could they even show their faces here? Like, it's unfathomable to me. And also, like, the stats don't lie. 245 shootings this year alone, and there haven't even been 245 days of the year yet. It's disgusting. The NRA is just paying these politicians to support them, even though these politicians are well aware that what they're supporting is the murder of innocent children, innocent people in general. We're not safe in this country, no matter what we do. Go to the shopping mall, go to a place of worship, go to school. We risk getting shot up anywhere. Even me being in college, sometimes I sit in the lecture hall and I fear for my life. I fear that one day a crazy person is going to come in and just shoot us all. So that's why I'm here, because this is not right whatsoever.
From your point of view, what is the solution?
The solution? Well, mobilize, vote, get all these politicians that are in it for the money out of office, and advocate for stricter gun laws, stricter background checks, and I feel like we shouldn't, as citizens, be able to carry AR-15s around because they're military-grade weapons.
When you say stricter gun laws, and I also have a question when you say military-grade weapons, but I'll start with stricter gun laws. What kind of gun laws do you want to see put in place that you think would help?
More stringent background checks like we see in other countries. I understand that Abbott recently lowered the age to own a gun to 18. I believe that is way too young for someone to be owning a gun. I believe it should be at least 21 because that's the legal drinking age, or even older than that, because there's no reason that a teenager should be able to hold such a powerful weapon such as that.
Then do you think that the voting age should be raised as well? Because if you aren't responsible enough to have a gun, are you responsible enough to help decide who's in power?
I think so, honestly. Well, when it comes to voting age, I don't think it should necessarily be lowered or raised or anything. I feel like 18 is a pretty standard age because we are legal adults at that point. A lot of us can think critically for ourselves, and we need the power. There's power in numbers, and the younger people know what's going to better our country in the future. Therefore, I think the voting age should just stay 18 because that's just fair for us all.
If 18-year-olds are able to critically think to vote, why do you think they shouldn't be able to own a gun then?
I didn't say they shouldn't be able to own a gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Yeah, I just said semi-automatic weapons that are able of unloading hundreds of rounds per minute, I just don't think that it's right that someone should have that much power over someone else's life.
So you do think that you should have to rechamber a weapon before each time you use it? What about in self-defense if you were to miss a shot? So let's say somebody broke into my house, because, semi-automatic weapons aren't just rifles. Most pistols are semi-automatic. So you think those should be banned as well?
I don't know all the logistics of guns because I don't own a gun myself. My dad owns a gun, but he only owns a simple handgun. So I would have to read more up on that. But I do think that certain things should be regulated to where humans, average citizens, can't carry the power to kill multiple people in one go. So. Yeah, but I still do believe, don't misconstrue. I still do believe that people do have the right to own guns to a certain extent, but I feel like the grotesque fetishizing of guns in this country has got to stop, because that Second Amendment, while yes, is important to our Constitution, it was written hundreds of years ago where these automatic weapons didn't exist. So you really have to think in the context of things, and I just think that, giving anyone this kind of grotesque power is just setting us up for anarchy and disaster in the future. So.
Well, thank you so much. So we're here outside the NRA convention. So what is your purpose of being here?
Just being here is to hold this sign out so everyone can read it.
And one thing we've seen throughout the day is your fellow protesters have been kind of yelling at people as they cross over the street. What do you think of that? Do you think that's great?
I think at least saying one or two words will probably get someone to think, have it throughout the end to the end of the day, and have those words influence something. Anything makes a difference. All this chanting that we're doing here, it's got to at least do something. You get what I mean by that?
Yeah, in a way. What do you think you're protesting most? Is it the NRA or is it the people that are attending the convention, or is it really just both?
All of them. Both. A little bit of both.
And what do you think can be done to prevent tragedies like what happened in Uvalde the other day?
Well, say this.
Absolutely terrible.
It is a terrible thing that happened. Just look out to the future and just make sure we make better decisions.
So do you think gun control is something that...
Gun control, yes.
What does gun control mean to you?
Straightforward controlling guns, regulations, just making sure.
What kind of regulations?
Kind of regulation. Oh man, you got me in a bind. Regulations. Oh. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Hey, I will say this. A lot of people, at least you're thinking about it. There are people on both sides that sometimes don't always think about what they're about to say. So yeah. So there's not really a certain regulation that you're... Like, do you think ban guns altogether? Or?
Well,
No.
that's not realistically possible.
That'll start a civil war.
Yeah.
But military-grade guns probably should be, available.
What is a military-grade gun? Because there are handguns in there's handguns in the military.
Yeah.
What?
I was talking about t-shirt.
Oh.
You grab the t-shirt?
You want it? He wants to get it. Oh. He wants a new shirt.
So when you say military-grade guns, do you mean fully automatic? Because those are already not. You can't.
To be fair, I'm not super educated. Not on that at least. But I think the mental health crisis and the lack of healthcare to fund, I can't even go to therapy without having to spend $100 per appointment. It's a pain. I think maybe helping the mental health crisis might, make some difference. Because, what provokes an 18-year-old to shoot up an elementary? Probably something in their brain, along with their outside interference.
One thing that I've heard today while listening to people here is they think that school security should be increased. So, for example, there should only be one open entrance, and at that entrance, you should have armed security.
Everything should be a prison now? Because that's what it sounds like. A prison. No entrances. Arm all the teachers. Or one entrance, my bad. That's ridiculous. You arm all the teachers. Even the cops at, I can't pronounce where it was, but Uvalde, I think, Texas.
Uvalde,
my bad. Even they didn't know how to handle the situation. They had to wait for, what was it? The border patrol, I think. They had guns too, right? You get the teachers guns, they don't know how to handle that. And it kind of probably is going to just give more... Exactly. What are they going to do? Are they going to give the teachers safes to hold their guns in the classrooms too? Or are they going to have the teachers holding onto the guns and making it easier in the reach for troubled kids who might want to try and take the gun for fun or some stupid shit like that? I think that's all I got to say. Getting nervous.
So, from your point of view, to solve this issue, you need gun regulations of some sort.
Something. Texas is so bad. They got rid of all their regulations now, and I was 18
Be safe,
year
y'all.
You too.
Take care.
And I'm going to ask you something, and it's honestly at this point it's almost become a cliche thing to say. What about a city like Chicago, for example, where they has very strict gun laws, but violence there is incredibly high?
You want to answer it? No. I can't answer it if you know the answer. Can you whisper to me?
Tell her what's the question. Tell her what you're asking.
So, in somewhere like Chicago, where gun violence is incredibly high,
Strictest gun laws, but
Yeah.
yet they have high gun violence.
Well, I'm sure even with banning guns and having strict gun laws, there's still going to be ways to get those guns, and you're not going to be able to stop it. I don't really have anything I can say. Nothing intelligent, at least.
So do you think maybe... Hey, this is a really interesting conversation. So you think that there just has to be regulations of some sort, correct?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.